So, but regardless, I really think there's a lot of dark horses in the playoffs this
Yeah.
year, and anything could happen. So we'll see. We're gonna buckle up for the final week because
It's going to be a replay of 2010. Packers are going to see the Bears in the NFC Championship game. Jay Cutler's going to be in the bike. So,
yeah. Hopefully, you won't be playing a backup QB that time.
I mean, he'll be on the bike. It's okay. I don't think Caleb would do that. I think Caleb would try his best to play, even if he had a hamstring.
It's funny how you don't mention that though. That when you guys won the Super Bowl, you had to play.
We played Jay Cutler, and then he got injured.
Exactly. So you won against Caleb Haney, who threw a pick at the end of the game to basically seal it for you guys.
I mean, if we're playing that card, the Bears have never beat Jordan Love because he got injured.
No, you're the one that's playing that card.
I didn't.
You always talk about how it'd be a different game if Jordan Love. You probably wouldn't have won if Jordan Love played.
I say that it would have been a different game.
So okay, but I'm saying it probably.
Are we
been
really
a different
defending
game.
Jay Cutler?
I mean, Jay Cutler was one of the better Bears QBs.
I think Caleb is one of the better.
He had an arm. You can't discredit Jay Cutler's arm. What his issue was his attitude. That guy had a terrible attitude. But from a talent perspective, he had a good arm.
It's not our fault that he had a little boo-boo. He didn't even get injured that bad.
I'm not.
He decided he wanted to go on the bike.
And it's not our fault that Jordan Love got injured.
Yeah, but Jordan Love didn't choose to go to a bike. He had a concussion. He wanted to stay in the game.
All the point I was making is
Jay Cutler decided he wanted to go on the bike and not play the game anymore.
All I'm saying is that if you're basically saying that wins don't really count when it's against backup QBs,
I don't say that. I say that they're different games. It's a different dynamic, and you've said that too.
I agree, but I'm just saying, I'm just speaking facts that you guys had to beat Caleb Haney to win your Super Bowl. So,
but then we beat every single team. We were on the road it was one of the most Cinderella story Super Bowls of all time. We went on the road 3 times. And we beat great teams, the Eagles, the Falcons, the Bears. The Bears still had a great team that year. Then we beat the Steelers for the Super Bowl. It's a hell of a Super Bowl run.
So, I mean, a couple facts, though. Yes, you were the lower seed, but you only had one less win than the Bears that season. So
Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback than Jay Cutler.
At the end of the day, though, Caleb Haney was
at the end of the day, the Packers won the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
And they beat better quarterbacks than either Cutler or Haney. And we were already in line to potentially beat you guys with Cutler because Cutler was already making mistakes.
Okay.
It's Cutler.
I'm just speaking facts that it would have been, you know what? It would have been a different game if Jay Cutler closed out that game.
Maybe he throws another pick.
I don't know.
He was very good at throwing picks to us.
But yet. Alrighty, guys.
Maybe.
Well, we'll leave you out on that.
Only one of us is defending Jay Cutler. I am not that person.
I mean, he was one of our better quarterbacks.
That's sad. I think now you have your better quarterback.
I know it is. I know it's very, very sad.
I think now you have your better quarterback.
Yep, I know.
And
that's interesting. Yeah, because like basically the Packers have been playing against backup QBs this whole time for the Bears.
But we still have to beat other teams. It's not my fault that you guys have done.
Okay,
bad.
I'm just saying that when the Bears beat the Packers and Jordan Love doesn't play, it's this whiner fest. This whole whiny, like, haha, had to beat us because you had to play against Malik Willis. That's the only way you win. But when you actually look at historically, all of the Packers, when they play the Bears, if you look at every one of our quarterbacks, they were basically all backup quarterbacks. But that's not the Packers' fault. I'm not saying that.
I've seen that argument. They weren't backup quarterbacks. You chose them. That's the thing. You chose your.
That's what I just said, though, is that it's not the Packers' fault that the Bears are bad at drafting QBs or signing QBs to contracts. But the reality of the situation is none of those quarterbacks were ever really starting caliber quarterbacks, except for maybe Andy Dalton, who, okay, that was like at the end of his run. But everyone else, when you actually historically look at all of the quarterbacks for the Bears, they basically were backup QBs.
But you act like we just went against you. We beat Matthew Stafford when he was at the Lions and Calvin Johnson. Yes, they were dysfunctional.
No, I know. I'm just saying that the Packers always want to ride this high horse of how they dominated the Bears for, the past 20 years, which great, you're right. But then you also can't whine and cry when the Bears beat you, also making all of these excuses.
But there was no excuse. It was Jordan Love got injured.
Maybe
it
not
sucks.
by you, but if you
Sure.
go to
But that
social
narrative that
media,
you have right now about us only winning because of its backup quarterbacks, that's the narrative right now. They're backup quarterbacks. There weren't backup quarterbacks. They were starters at some point. You made them starters. We had no choice in that.
we're talking about the caliber of the player.
I get that.
though.
I get the caliber, but that's not the way it's phrased.
The skill set of the quarterbacks that you have historically played against the Bears, none of them would really be starting.
Trust me, we
QBs.
agree 100%.
So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but the argument right now is we've only beat backup quarterbacks. It was that they were backup caliber. That's how it's phrased. And that's how it's on Reddit, it's on TikTok, on Instagram. And you get to the point where like, no, that's disingenuous because they were starters.
Okay, yes, they started for the Bears when in reality they probably shouldn't have because
Agreed.
they played like backup QBs.
Agreed.
So there it is.
But you guys picked up Mitch early and he was a starter. You guys picked up Justin Fields early, he was a starter.
Yep.
And it just didn't work out.
Okay,
and the Packers,
that's 2 out of probably 17 quarterbacks.
No, I get you guys paid Glennon whatever crazy money at the time. It happens. Sometimes you miss, and we went with what opponent we had.
Sometimes
but
we missed a lot.
If Caleb Williams gets injured, and of course I don't want this to happen, but let's say you're in the playoffs, he gets injured. Are you going to tell me that doesn't have a big say on how that game turns out?
Yeah, of course.
And that's what I'm trying to say.
I know,
Jordan Love getting hurt had a big say in how that game turns out.
I know, and I said the same thing about Jay Cutler, and you didn't want to hear that at all.
I don't think Jay Cutler's the same caliber of player. I think that Caleb is a higher caliber player.
At that moment in time, I mean, Jay Cutler brought us to an NFC Championship game.
I think Jay Cutler chose to get out. I think he could have played through that, and he chose to get out because he's not a fighter. That's his decision, and he felt the team. It wasn't an injury that could have...
It doesn't matter what the circumstances. At the end of the day, though, it was still Caleb Haney who had to come in
of course.
And finish the game out.
But
so
it's not something to be used against the Packers. This is the biggest moment for the Bears to get to a Super Bowl. And
I'm just saying the same thing that you're saying, though, is that you won, but there's that little asterisk there that is but our starting QB was out. That Malik Willis has proven that he can play in this league. He has proven that he's more than capable. So again,
so do you want a pat on the back for beating the Packers on that last week? Because I think you had the team to beat Jordan Love.
No, I don't. I'm just saying that if you're going to have the little asterisk of, oh well, I mean it's a different game when Jordan Love gets injured. If Jordan Love was in that game, it turns out different.
All I said that it's a different dynamic. And
I'm saying I agree, and I'm just saying the same thing.
I cannot put Jay Cutler in the same conversation as the two quarterbacks that you're trying to talk about. I think Caleb Williams is a much better quarterback, and I think Jordan Love's a much better quarterback. I think that Jay Cutler was so inconsistent, and yes, you guys made it to that position, but you guys got there on the backs of your running backs and your defense. Not Jay Cutler, even though he had the stats, I get that. But we've always known, even on his best years, he had inconsistencies. I cannot say that he would, maybe it's a little bit different, but it was Jay Cutler. And even on his best years, we knew that he pulled when he went on the bike was always a possibility.
I think that it would be hard to make a claim that if your starting quarterback gets injured in a game, I think anybody would feel the way of like, what if? It would be a different game if our starting. It doesn't matter if it's your starting. Honestly, it doesn't matter if they're the best quarterback in the league right now versus the middle of the pack. But the reality is Jay Cutler was having a good year. Yeah. Jay Cutler brought us to the NFC Championship. Yes, it was an overall great football team from the defense to the run game to we finally had a quarterback that could sling it. So, I mean, to say, I'm not comparing the talent levels. I'm just basically agreeing with you that if your starting quarterback goes down, the game's different. The game changes, and you're always going to have that what if.
But I understand that, but this is the conversation came after. Why didn't we get that same benefit of the doubt when Jordan Love went down? You immediately went with the Packers are saying this, and that. Why? Like I've never brought Jay Cutler before this
What?
conversation.
I'm not understanding the question.
Better way to put it. This is the we talked about this now, right? We haven't really talked about Jay Cutler too much about him. Like it would have been a different dynamic if he didn't play. So you brought up Jordan Love. Oh, the Packers are making excuses. I knew it was a lose-lose for the Bears.
No, I'm saying. Oh, well, yeah, of course, because I knew that if we lost, it would. I'm merely speaking from a Packers fans perspective.
Sure.
Because if the Bears, once Jordan Love went down, it is a lose-lose.
But
because
isn't it
the
also
Packers
a
are gonna.
lose-lose for the Packers not having their starting quarterback?
Okay, so if Malik Willis wins that game, is that a lose situation for you?
No,
you guys win the game. Yes, it sucks Jordan Love goes out, but you beat the Bears with a backup quarterback. How is that a lose situation for you?
Our quarterback is hurt.
But the game itself, you win it.
Sure.
How is that a lose situation for you?
But we lost, and we still lose our dynamic pieces. Okay, I get it's not a lose-lose, but it's still a lose for the Packers.
Yes, of course. Having your starting quarterback is a thing. Getting them injured, of course. Yes, that's a situation. But I was merely talking about if the Bears win that game, regardless of whatever outcome that game had, the outcome of the game itself, the score, who wins, who loses. It was a lose-lose situation for the Bears because if they win, then they get the narrative from all the Packers fans like, haha, had to beat our quarterback to finally beat the Packers. Or if they lose, then it's, haha, you still suck and you can't beat the Packers even with a backup quarterback. That's what I'm talking about is a lose-lose situation.
I get that. And to an extent, I do agree with that. But the way we pictured or we talked about that whole game, you framed it in you still should, you can't make excuses if it's next player up or next man up.
No. The first thing I said is, all right, let's hear it. What are the excuses? And you didn't give any. The one thing you did say, which is the same thing that I just said about Jay Cutler, you said, if Jordan Love, it is a different game. And that's the same thing I just said about the NFC Championship in 2010. If Jay Cutler doesn't go down, it's a different game. That I was basically saying the same thing that you did.
I don't think Jay Cutler was having as good of a game as you think that game.
Okay.
I just have a hard time ever defending Jay Cutler. Like
I'm not saying to defend Jay Cutler. I'm just saying that anytime your starting QB goes down, it's a tough situation for your entire football team.
I'll give you that.
That's what I'm saying. And so if Packers fans want to cry and whine about the Bears beating a backup QB, then they should also take ownership to, oh, we beat a backup QB to win our Super Bowl. That's the reality because that was the NFC Championship game, and you beat a backup QB. That's the reality, though. That's what happened. Those are facts. There's nothing like, I'm not speaking opinion. We still played
Jay Cutler. He got injured, so we beat him, and he beat himself. I don't think we beat you necessarily as much as he beat himself. Okay. And we still beat other starting caliber quarterbacks. You can't just say, oh, they had to beat a backup.
I understand.
Yeah.
But again, I'm just simply saying the same statement that you said. It just a different game and a different quarterback. That literally saying the same statement that you said.
But I never said that, oh, you had to beat a backup. I said I just think it's a different dynamic. If you put it like that, it's a different dynamic.
Okay,
cool, I'm cool with that.
Maybe not you specifically, but a lot of Packers fans are.
But a lot of you always make the Packers look like they're the biggest, but the Bears are just equally as to the Packers or the other NFC North players. Like it's a rivalry for a reason.
It is. But like I said, what annoys me most about Packers fans is they just think that they are far superior in the NFL. And
last week you made it seem like this is why I hate the Packers fan. I sat here while all three of you shit on the Packers, and I didn't say anything. And the second I say something, or I'm like, oh, I don't care if we beat the Vikings or whatever. You think it's a superiority thing? It's like, no, you guys talk so much in this, and I just stayed quiet. I'm gonna eventually fight back.
I mean, stayed quiet with words, but not facial expressions. Sure, but all I'm saying is there's a reason why people can't stand Packers fans. You're one Packer fan in millions, okay? So there's a reason, and there's also a reason in why the entire NFC North, like, perfect example, when we went to the game. Yeah, when we went to the Lions game, yeah, I got on for wearing a Bears jersey, but you especially got on because of a Packers jersey. And I'm telling you, the root of that is because they just think that they're entitled to basically anything.
What's funny is that if you look at videos of any of the NFC North going to Lambeau, they're treated so kindly. Like, everyone makes the same video, and there's thousands of them. They're like, yeah, how did they treat you? He's like, they treated me really well. Like, we got a tailgate with the Packers fans. We still lost or we still won. So blah, 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 whatever happens, that's always the narrative. And yes, some of it is because the Packers know that this is one of the oldest and a mecca for the NFL. I get that. But they're kind to everyone that comes in. But if you go to the Lions, you go to Ford Field, they're not that kind. So I don't understand where's this disconnect thinking that all Packers fans are or yes, do they have a lot of accolades and they're proud of those? Yes, and some younger fans might be dicks. I'm cool. I understand. I'm not cool with that. Get it. Just watch all the videos of people going to Lambeau Field. They're kind. No, there's no fighting. There's none of that. It's the Midwest, for crying out loud.
Okay.
I can send you and I can put them if you want on the podcast. There's so many.
I mean, again, I can watch a million videos, but
you'll never find the Packers treat anyone the way that the Philadelphia Eagles treat people.
Oh no, you're not gonna find anyone.
Or the Raiders.
The Eagles are just straight up brutal.
And the Lions are worse in Ford Field than we are to anyone that comes to Lambeau Field. I'll stand on that.
I mean, okay, but I'm just saying based on things that I've experienced and things that I see. So I mean, sure, I can watch videos, but it's just the talking. Yes, I can understand that, but like I said, there's a reason why typically other NFC North teams hate the Packers the most.
It could be because there was a very douchey quarterback that was very cocky, and you think that that's the attitude of the Packers as a whole. Okay, I could give that.
I mean, I don't know. All right, we really have gotten over today.
I will cut this into multiple sections.
Because we went on a rant.
Honestly, that's a fun rant, though.
But that's it. Final week of the season this weekend. Again, Happy New Year, everybody. Tune in because the playoffs are right around the corner. Yes. And at least 50% of the NFC North will be in the playoffs. So, again, tip our hat. It's like the entire NFC West is in the playoffs, but, we won't talk about that. Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you so much, and we will see you next week. Deuces.
Bye, guys.
I thought it was going to be a short episode.
I'm going to make it into 2 episodes. I'm going to do bonus episode for the rant.